First time in more than 3 decades, the Senate is primed to overturn a piece of D.C. legislation today. We're talking about a D.C. bill which would overhaul the city's criminal code. Republicans and even many Democrat senators have voiced their concerns with the bill, as has President Joe Biden, who said that he would sign the resolution overturning that law.
That story has a lot of moving parts to it, and our Evan Kosloff is live at the Capitol to break it all down. And Evan, you reached out to all of our local senators to ask them how they'll vote.
Right, and at this time, they're actually pretty split right now. The two Maryland senators said that they believe that local legislation should be decided by local leaders. However, the two Virginia senators told me that they would actually support that Senate resolution to overturn the D.C. law. It's a local issue that's very quickly become a national one.
The messaging got out of our control.
D.C. Council Chair Phil Mendelson announcing on Monday that they'd be withdrawing the controversial D.C. Revised Criminal Code Act. But that's not stopping the Senate vote on Wednesday.
Washington is different from any other city in America.
Republicans like Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell have blasted the bill as a threat to public safety.
We need to have a reasonable expectation of security here in the Capitol.
The bill was headed to the president's desk, and the president made a decision.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre saying on Monday that Biden would sign the resolution overturning the D.C. law. Here she was going into greater detail on Friday.
Because D.C. is not a state, when bills like this occur, it goes to the president, and he has to make a decision. And that's where we are. It's as simple as that.
Meanwhile, a split among our local senators. Maryland Senators Ben Cardin and Chris Van Hollen have said they'd vote against the Senate resolution. Van Hollen saying, quote, "I support the right of the people of the District of Columbia to self-determination and full democracy." But a different story for our Virginia senators. Senator Mark Warner told the Washington Post that he'd support the resolution, as did Senator Tim Kaine, who took our questions yesterday afternoon.
I'm a strong believer in home rule. I'm a believer in D.C. statehood. But the fact of the matter is, there are certain kinds of laws that if D.C. passes, we can't duck them. They come to Congress, and we're asked to express an opinion.
And back out here live at the Capitol, we did also reach out to Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton, who's the sole representative in Congress for D.C. She was unavailable for an interview, but she wrote the following when the resolution was announced, writing, "Today has been a sad day for D.C. home rule and D.C. residents' right to self-governance." Again, that vote is going to be today inside the Capitol. As soon as we have the results, we'll pass them along. Reporting here at the Capitol, I'm Evan Kosloff, WUSA 9.